Good day and welcome to today's episode of Erongo Talk. And on this lovely sunny Monday, we find ourselves at the Rossmund Golf Course and Resort. My name is Adolf Kaure and I'll be your host for today's show. So in today's show, as usual, we have the news, the tides, as well as the weather. And since it's the day of the Namibian Child, we also give you some very interesting interviews with some members and leaders of the youth. So do not move any inch. We'll be back right after this commercial break. And now for the news. In our first story, Basilius Mbambo, a 34-year-old resident of Swakopmund, lost his life in a shack fire in the DRC informal settlement in Swakopmund earlier on Sunday morning. So the deceased and another man were sleeping, and their neighbor, who is a distant cousin to the victims, heard a person screaming for help and crying. And when he left his room to investigate, he saw that the shack was on fire. It was then already too late to do anything to save Bambo. The victim, Likius Kaheke Nicodemus, 22-year-old, sustained third-degree burns to his arms and head, and he is in stable condition at the Swakopmund State Hospital. The cause of the fire is still unknown, so condolences to the family members of Bambo, and yes, very sad indeed. In our second crime story, another shack caught fire in the same suburb on Friday, just around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and no injuries were sustained or lives lost in this specific incident, but all properties inside the shack were burned to ashes. The cause of fire is known, as the resident of the property, who is a member of the shack owner, said that the shack had a faulty electricity box and the shack owner was not at home when the fire started. So the investigation also continues regarding that specific shack fire. Another crime story, a murder suspect is at large after attacking and stabbing Willem Mika, who is 45 years old, 4 times under his left arm and on his back with an unknown object. So the victim was on his way home around 20 minutes to 2 in the morning when the incident occurred. After the alleged stabbing, the suspect allegedly took the deceased's wallet and fled, and the victim was found unconscious in the street by the police and was taken to the Swakopmund State Hospital, where he passed away. 4 persons of interest were detained for questioning, and the main suspect, who is still at large, was identified. The police are working hard to trace and arrest this specific suspect. So if you have any information, please do contact your latest or your nearest police station. And we also have some positive news here with Dion Hotto, who was recently unveiled as a signing for South African soccer club or Giants Orlando Pirates. And some of his mentors and his people that played with him paid tribute and homage to him, one of them being Gerald Kuter, who formerly coached Hotto at the Swakopmund Football Club, FCFC, and he said that he is extremely proud of the player he has become. So it is gratifying to see someone from your hometown achieving such heights. He fully deserves all he has accomplished because he had to put immense work into it. And it is his love, dedication and respect for the game that opened many doors for him. He was easy to coach and to motivate, said Guter. According to the coach, although Hotto was small in stature, he developed under his watch due to his dedication. So he's quoted as saying, quote unquote, "From the age of 17, I noticed how good and eager he was to show his skills on a bigger stage. It was, however, difficult for him to hold down a regular place at the SFC first team. So this led to him joining a youthful team run by 2 other local coaches who wanted to give young players a chance. So after spending a season away from SFC, Hotto came back stronger and more determined and better prepared for senior level. He learned quickly and was always eager to improve himself. He had a dream and he lived it, said Kundja. So another coach also and a player, or someone who also played with Hotto at school level, as Hotto was schooling at Herman Gemeina, which is now known as Coastal High, and this specific individual was at Swakopmund Secondary School, this individual being Friedel Kabeb. So Friedel Kabeb, who is an old rival of Hotto in school years, said during his school days, Kabeb, who played for this against Hotto on numerous occasions, was quoted as saying he was one of the trickiest and toughest opponents I had ever faced, and he was hardworking and had the skill as well as the talent to complement that hard work. And Hotto, Kabeb said Hotto was always working on his trade, and be it on weekends or in the streets or at SFC on his own. He's a perfect example of what an aspiring professional footballer should be, said Kabeb, and he advised Hotto not to forget where he comes from. So Dion Hotto, as we know, helped Witwatersrand finish 4th in the Absa Premiership, just behind Mamelodi Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, as well as Orlando Pirates, which is now his new club. And Hotto also was one of the very successful members of the Brave Warriors team that won the Kosafa Castle Cup in 2015, and really proud that someone from Swakopmund has gone to represent South African giant like Orlando Pirates, and his former clubs include, of course, Blue Boys, African Stars, Golden Arrows and Bloemfontein Celtic, and also recently Witwatersrand, and he also started his career obviously at SFC. So in our last story, the chairman of the Erongo Regional Council and regional council member of the Swakopmund constituency, Juso Kambweshe from Swapo, will not be running in the upcoming election. He made this announcement recently in Swakopmund during a COVID-19 briefing session by the Erongo governor, Neville Andre. According to media reports, Kambweshe wants to study towards an international recognized academic qualification. I can't add more value than I already have. I have been part of the town and regional council for 10 years. I am now available for what the world throws at Namibia because we are part of the international community. That is what he said according to a report in the Namibian newspaper. He could not be reached for comment, and Kambweshe now has served on the Swakopmund Town Council as a mayor for several years. In 2015, he was promoted to the regional council and has been serving chairman for the last few months. So that was your news. Do stay tuned.
Joining us on Erongo Talk, since we are celebrating Day of the Namibian Child, we have various youth leaders from Walvis Bay who's just going to share a word of encouragement and just wish everyone a happy Day of the Namibian Child. Now we have a special message from Miss Preeti in Walvis Bay, Melinda Bam, the junior mayor of Walvis Bay, Kundja Kavari, as well as the reigning Miss Teen Walvis Bay. Each one brings their own special message and just wants to wish everyone a happy Day of the Namibian Child. Here they are.
Hi everyone, I'm Melinda Bam, Miss Preeti in Walvis Bay. And I would just like to wish every one of you guys a happy Day of the Namibian Child. 2020 has truly been hard on all of us, but by learning that standing together can make a difference, we as Namibians can stand together to ensure a brighter future for the Namibian children. May you have a blessed Day of the Namibian Child.
Good afternoon. My name is Kundja Kavari. I'm the junior mayor of the port city of Walvis Bay. Children are the future of this country, which represents a highly dynamic, energetic and ambitious population of our country. If we unite, we can change the direction of the wind, the power to improve government and social systems. As youth, we should be productive and play important roles in national building and involving other youth in programs that allow them to find themselves. As youth, we should learn to be innovative and realize our potential, purposes, and unlearn unproductive traits to more productive nature. Children are not only leaders of tomorrow, but they are the partners of today. So let's work with those who are leading today and add our contribution as they are highly needed. Therefore, we should be productive to be able to contribute. Remember, young people are actors of change and progress. A good example would be Bill Gates. He had a thought, he exercised his thought, and today he's one of the richest men in the world. As young people, we should have thoughts, innovative ideas, exercise these thoughts, and hopefully they will reap good results. I am a proud Namibian. I am a proud Namibian because it makes me warm. I am a proud Namibian child because I come from Namibian soil. I am a proud Namibian child because I have rights and responsibilities. I am a proud Namibian child because our land has diversity in culture, color, and language. I am a proud Namibian child because I am independent and inspired by my leaders. With that, I would like to end with a word to our youth. Let us stand with our sisters, our mothers, and our aunts and make sure that they are safe at all times. As Namibian children, it is our duty to make sure that all our other peers and friends are safe at all times. Remember, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers are very important to us. So let us make sure that they are safe at all times. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Dominique Bouwer, the reigning Miss Teen Walvish Bay, and I'd like to wish each and every one of you a blessed day of the Namibian Child. I feel like this day has so much significance when you reflect back on the rich cultural history that it was founded on. And I'm so thankful that we have been given the opportunity to celebrate it together as Namibians. This day means a lot to me because we are given the chance to refract our focus back onto the children of Namibia in aspects of education, children's rights and overall support during the tough times of COVID-19. I believe that this pandemic has taught us the significance of time and how to invest it wisely. And I'm so proud of each and every Namibian child who has kept their focus on their studies to reach their goals and have flourished during these hard times of COVID-19. Not only did you do this during a pandemic, but you did this yourself and you did this for your future. And I'm so thankful to be part of this golden generation of Namibia, and I wish each and every one of you the best of luck for your future and all the obstacles that will come your way. You will overcome them, and please remember to enjoy this day because this day was dedicated to you to glorify everything you will ever do for your country and everything that you have ever done for your country.
And now for your weather and tides. Starting with the tides in the three coastal areas or towns. We had a low tide earlier this morning at 5 to 7 in the morning, with our first high tide arriving later at 20 past 1 in the afternoon. Our second low tide will arrive at 7:25 in the afternoon, with our last high tide arriving tomorrow at about 20 minutes to 2 in the morning. So Walvis Bay's sunrise was at about quarter to 7 in the morning, with a sunset forecasted for 7 p.m. So the maximum temperature for today for Walvis Bay is 18 degrees Celsius, with a wind coming from the southwest. Easterly direction. Tomorrow's minimum will be 10 degrees, with the maximum being 18 degrees Celsius. So Swakopmund will expect wind direction of southerly wind direction, with a maximum temperature forecasted being 16 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, a minimum of 12 and a maximum of 16 degrees Celsius is forecasted for the International Holiday Resort. Hendy's Bay also expect a wind direction of coming from the south, with a maximum temperature for today of 16 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature for tomorrow for Hendy's Bay is 12 degrees, with a maximum forecasted in the specific town being 16 degrees Celsius. Arandas also project, or they forecasted a temperature in Arandas of about 23 degrees Celsius today, much warmer than the coastal towns as expected, with the minimum tomorrow being 8 degrees with a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius, and the wind direction in Arandas being a southwesterly wind flow. Usakos expect east weather in Usakos, so southeasterly wind flow in that specific town, with a maximum today very warm 31 degrees Celsius, and tomorrow a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. Karibab expect today a temperature of 31 degrees Celsius with a wind coming from the southeast, and tomorrow they have a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius forecasted there. Last but not the least, Maruru, a wind direction of coming from the southwest with a maximum today of 32 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow they can expect a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. So that was your weather and tides. Do stay tuned. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of Erongo Talk. It was definitely a pleasure having you in my company. So, do not forget that we are also available on social media on 3 different platforms. That is Instagram, Facebook, as well as on Twitter. And our WhatsApp number is 0811 7000040. I repeat, it is 0811 7000040. So do leave your news tips as well as any form of communication on that specific WhatsApp number. And you can also catch more news as well as any other information on our website, that is www.erongo.com.na. I repeat, www.erongo.com.na. So, since the state of emergency has now been lifted, please let us continue to use our common sense by keeping a social distance, sanitizing, and still wearing our masks. It doesn't mean that now that these things have been lifted that we should be complacent. So let us continue to use that same common sense. So until tomorrow, it has been a pleasure. As I said, do catch us again, same time, same place. Ciao.